Dr. Sam Vakin, a global expert on narcissistic personality disorders, conducted an explicit psychobiographical study titled Psychotic Grandiosity: The Case of Jesus Christ, Narcissist. Dr. Vakin notes that individuals from these fragmented backgrounds frequently develop magical thinking, compensatory grandiose delusions, and fantasies of omnipotence to fend off feelings of inferiority. Vakin explicitly breaks down how Jesus' behavior mirrors textbook malignant narcissism, the unshakable belief that he is above the law, a total lack of conventional empathy for the establishment, and a constant craving for public attention and devotion. This brings us to the famous temple outburst. Traditional religion calls it righteous anger. But let's use the Bruce Lee rule. When a fighter gets angry, their vision clouds, their judgment fractures, and they become sloppy. Rage is a loss of clarity. I had to ask myself why I attracted the crucifixion into my life while pregnant. I also had to explore emotionally why Jesus attracted the same event into his life. What emotional pain did Jesus and Mary have between them that the crucifixion exposed? Why would a rabbi need to be crucified in front of his pregnant wife to see and understand his own emotional pain? To answer that question, I look at this lifetime and a lineup of men in my book, all of whom had an avoidant attachment style with narcissistic tendencies and multiple women in their life, where I had an anxious attachment style with borderline personality disorder. This dynamic mirrors the relationship between Jesus and Mary, who were, first and foremost, everyday people having everyday problems just like you and me. Grounded in that reality, I can share my wisdom. Several scholars have examined Jesus and Mary from a psychological lens via their behavior documented in the Bible. Their findings mirror my psychological challenges and those of the men in my book. The divine feminine is creation, where the divine masculine is orchestration. My soul is responsible for creating this wound in the collective via the wound in my own heart and soul. This is the lifetime where my soul, the divine masculine soul, and our collective of souls agreed to heal this wound as part of the second coming, where we all learn that self-love creates heaven on earth. It is time for us all to self-reflect on the collective pain we feel and respond to from this event. It is time to ask difficult, self-reflective questions regarding how and why Jesus was crucified. Through my personal healing work, I realized a profound truth. The feminine is the source or heart of every relationship, as the emotional center. Men are once removed from that center as they orbit the feminine with protection and provisioning tasks. So if the center is out of balance, then the masculine, who is literally out on a limb, is definitely out of balance. Emotional alignment begins at the center with the feminine in every relationship. That was a very difficult truth for me to accept. But examining the history of the events that led to the crucifixion helped me understand my role in relationships extremely well. Let's look at the imbalance between Jesus and Mary Magdalene. She was one of many rich women encircling and paying for his ministry. From a psychological lens, she was an anxiously attached individual who frequently tried to secure safety and proximity to an emotionally distant or avoidant partner by becoming an overly hypervigilant provider, caretaker, and fixer. She was just like I used to behave in this lifetime. Let's look at Jesus and his family life. Historically, there is evidence that Jesus lost his father at a young age, which typically leaves a wound in a child's masculinity. Jesus fought the religious and political hierarchy, masculinity, in favor of leaving all possessions behind and starting a commune. That trajectory plays out often in American society and politics today, which can easily be seen in how much America is fighting socialism and communism inside of our borders. Furthermore, he appeared to be avoidant of his mother, desiring to create a whole new family with his followers. How common is cancel culture today, where children do not want to speak with their parents? Parental alienation is a huge problem in American culture today. I am working through it myself.